Welcome to another episode of the previously named podcast Career Crossroads. Now I felt an appropriate name would be Beyond the Resume because all the experiences that people have had they cannot be captured in a resume. So I renamed this channel to Beyond the Resume. According to Howard, contentment and satisfaction in life comes from work. If you intuitively look at it, most of our lives we are doing two activities majorly. One is sleeping and the other is work. Most of us like the latter, including me, but work is an important aspect. And for us to have the contentment and happiness, here we have an expert with us today. He is a fantastic singer, an entrepreneur, an excellent speaker. More than that, whenever he is around, I feel a rush of optimism and enthusiasm. Let us welcome our expert for today, Umanath sir, into the spotlight. Hello, sir. How are you?
This is Sanjay for the good introduction. And it's great to be here in this studio meeting with you, sharing the experiences, maybe I should say my expectations with the life. So it'll be a great opportunity for me to connect with the younger ones because I want to be always be with the younger generation. I get inspired by the younger generation. It's not that I'm going to inspire the younger generation. There are so many things I can learn from the younger generation. That's why I want to be hanging around with young people so that I am relevant in the current one because I don't want to learn on past. So that's why I'm here when you call for this particular show. Sanjay, you're doing a great thing, and hopefully we'll have an enjoyable journey through this 30 minutes or so. And thank you for inviting me on the studio.
Thank you, sir. We all need your support. So, without further ado, I'll jump on to the first question. So, if you can let us know a little bit about your educational background and what you did to get into your first vocation, so that will be good.
When I passed out of my 10th grade, I never thought of what kind of profession I'd be doing. It was since we were having a very humble background from the village from coastal Karnataka. There was no means in which you have a kind of goal like present youngsters have it like you have a goal then work towards that goal.
Hmm.
So there was nothing such kind of a thing. It was education was a natural process. You go to school, come back home, do the home chores, and enjoy game with your friends. Then during the exam, take out the book, study, and, whatever score you get. There's no competition like you have to get the first rank, second rank, or first rank in the class. There's no such process. So I think that is the education was, I'm talking about 1980s when I passed through 10th grade, there's not a competition at all. So naturally, we wanted to be living a good life. But how God was pushing us. After the 10th grade, when somebody asked me what stream you would take, I was confused whether I should take arts, I should take commerce, science. Nothing. Somebody told, uh, take science, you got good marks. Have good marks in the sense, as for sociology, that's currently you see people scoring beyond 99, 90, 100, sometimes even 96. People will say, why one subject I got only 98, why you are not 100. So these kind of things, current discussion. Like, we were very happy with getting 61% marks during that point of time. Only three people passed out with first class. I was one of them. People said you take science. There was no science college within our village. It was around 10 kilometers from our place, which was a private college. We could not afford those kind of fees. My mother took me to Dharmasthala. There was one SDM college where you will get, if somebody say you may get a good seat over there. Their sciences. But by the time I went over there, unfortunately, science seats were not offered to me. They offered me a dairy science seat, which I don't want to work with the cattles. That's what I thought, dairy seats. So I rejected it and came back and took commerce in our own village. So after commerce, again, the job situation was not that great during that point of time. Somebody told, if you either do engineering or do polytechnic diploma. Engineering was out of the question because I took commerce. So after pre-university in commerce, I joined Karnataka Polytechnic in Bangalore for doing my diploma in mechanical engineering. Why I took mechanical engineering? Because I took automotive stream. Like I would get a job in garage after that. That's what I thought. I did 3 years diploma over there and came to Bangalore with an apprentice job in Kirloskar Electric in the year 1987. I worked there. It was a training. In fact, I should say enjoyed the training for 6 months. Then I got an opportunity with BPL Limited, which was an electronic job. That's all. Without any plan, I came into mechanical engineering. Then I made a career out of automation engineering. My entire life got changed when I joined BPL. My life is to automation. So my current business is also in automation. My whatever experience is there I got from that. And I built over a period of time this industry. So I never had a plan. That's what I want to say. So without any plan, life had happened.
Speaking of which, I took engineering because my cousin had took engineering and I had good marks in science. And my mother told, "See, he's doing good. You also take that." And she made sure that I joined the same college.
And engineering, once you're into engineering, yeah, once you're engineering, people will say think that your life is right.
Yes, sir. So moving on. So you're
And
presently.
I didn't stop learning. So one thing I would like, yeah,
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I wanted to add something. So
Hmm.
yeah. What I was telling is, I now stopped learning from them. Even after joining a job, I kept reading myself with whichever field I like. I like production management. I did a diploma in production management. Then I did industrial psychology, which I was very much interested to understand people's psychology, which is relevant to industry. Then ultimately, after my marriage, by the time, during my experience with people, I saw a stark difference between the uh, treatment that was given to a diploma engineer and a graduate engineer during my journey in my employment days. So I wanted to become an engineer. But it took such a long time. I got married, I got my first kid, and after my first kid was born, I joined engineering.
That's quite inspiring, sir. At such an age, you
Yeah.
decided to
It was
join.
like it was like a Munna Bhai entering engineering college. When I went to BMS College of Engineering for evening college. All youngsters and were parents joining them for this. It's like, I think quite funny moments like Munna Bhai had. So, but the best thing is that we punched out with the distinction, and that was my best academic performance so far. I got 80.5% when I got out of college. So I'm so proud. To say that after getting married also I can become an engineer.
So, sir, I just got
That's how it is.
curious. So, what was your age when you decided to pursue engineering after your marriage?
Um, it is 1996. 96 means if I was at the age of 30, I joined engineering college.
So that is quite inspiring, sir. So moving on to, I mean, you already added how you got your first job, and what. So presently you're running a business completely, and what business that is, and how has your career experience helped you to
When
manage
I
the career?
joined BPL group, it was a growing group. It was a 100 crore company. And they were setting up plant across Bangalore. Any the roads that are reaching to Bangalore was BPL was setting up a plant. That's the kind of stage I joined in. So this department where I joined in was an automation division. It was called machine building division. And it was meant to set up these plants, set up those production, set up those entire. If you're talking about the people was manufacturing color TVs, refrigerators, washing machines, all this production lines, I was able to set up through our department. So that is the experience I had for 17 years. I worked in various building different plant, different production lines. With that experience, I left BPL in the year 2002. So when it was, I think from 100 crore, it has grown to 2,200 crores. Rupees. During the time of 2002, there is a decline on the BPL group because of the Korean companies like SG and Samsung were taking in the wars and other having difficulty. At the same time, I was transferred to Punjab, which I refused to go because my family, my kids were here. I resigned without knowing what to do next. I should say I became an entrepreneur by accident, not that it was an intention. Oh, I resigned and in fact, I started my business with a kitchenware shop. That will be surprising for you. So from engineer doing automation and starting a kitchenware shop. I thought it was an easy way to start a business, and I was not confident enough to start something big like in information industry, which requires uh, lot of things like no design. Then you need a plan, you need a factory setup, you need the manpower and all. With that thing, I started a kitchenware group in February, selling water cookers, mixes, utensils, things like that. I ran that business for 4 years. I'm talking about year 2002. But there is a lot of time in between. Um, kitchenware business goes its own way. And it was generating a very low revenue. It's a huge business, but there is no revenue is so less. You need to earn a compromise, which I felt that I didn't want to leave a compromise, even though I took it 4 years of that. Then I started a business with two of my friends. Why two of my friends? Because I was not full confident to run a business on my own, so bigger business like automation industry. I started a company called Creative Technocrats with two of my friends, uh, which set up within 1 year. Uh, After that, I took some time again in 2008. I started again in automation industry with two more new friends. This business we ran successfully for 7 years. Then again, there was some kind of a differences and had to quit. That was a very long time in my life, with the huge loss of 25 lakhs plus during that point of time. I'm talking about 2013. I was almost like uh, crushed and I was on the ground. There was I was not knowing whether to go back to job or whether I should start again. 6 months I didn't do anything. I didn't came out of my house. I was not having any communication with the outside world. At that point of time, in fact, I went back to my cocoon, I should say. That 6 months were really tough for me. Well, with the family, I could come out of that. And when I came out of that cocoon, I was actually like a butterfly, finding my wings and set up again in 2014. uh, This time all alone, without any partnership. I started an industry in Pena with a small shed. I took care in 6 months. I didn't get any business. After 6 months, I got a business of 1 lakh from one retrofitting work. In December 2014, I got a major breakthrough. One of the major automotive company, parts company. They gave me an order of 40 lakhs. When I took that order also, I was not knowing sure how I am going to execute this order. Some people believed in me and they gave me this order. And with it, there was also a challenge. I had to complete it within 3 months. And that's this point of time, it made me to think how to make it possible. Uh, I hired one design engineer. I took some freelance people. I took some temporary contract laborers and completed that project within 3 months. That project gave me a lot of confidence that I can do something on my own. From then onwards, there was no looking. Even though there is a normal ups and downs of the business, I was able to overcome that. And today, we are a platinum company, and we are one of the most reliable automation equipment supplier to some of the major industries in India and across some of the northern part of India as well. So, I mean, never stop. That is what it is. So, even ups and downs will keep coming, never stop, continue. That's what the message I want to say.
Quite an inspiring story, sir. So you did an engineering at after you were married. People feel which is quite impossible these days. On top of that, you had quite few ups and downs, and still you kept going, which is quite inspiring to see that you have come out of it with. I mean, as you said, the wings. You have opened your wings, and it's quite inspiring to listen to your story. So moving on, so you had
Thank you.
17 years of work experience. So we would like to know that how did you keep up to date with the industry? How was your, I mean, how did you practice uh, the craft or work that you had to do on your job and kept up to date with the emerging industry?
One interesting thing was the department where I joined. It was not a routine kind of product that we manufactured. Every time there was a new project, every time there was a new problem, every time you need to give a new solution. That's how this department was working. That's why every time um, it kept us thinking how to make it possible, looking possibilities over problems. This is the whole thing which kept me hooked to my job for 17 years. I think nowadays I don't see people sticking more than 4 5 years. But this one, still 17 years. Unlike if uh, the transfer thing would have come in between, I want to continue doing that because it was so engrossing thing every time. That's why I consider myself as a solution giver. Problems always exist. So that's one thing. And every time I wanted to upgrade myself, I kept myself upgrading with whatever is happening around the technology, whatever happening around my qualification. Because I was not satisfied. I said from diploma I went into uh, engineering. I also did. production management. I also did industrial psychology. I also kept myself invested in my own personal training. I was part of several personality development programs. So I used to read a lot of self-help books to keep me motivated and give me some kind of a kick to keep moving forward without looking at the result. So this is message I want to give to the investors. Keep upgrading yourself. Keep looking around yourself. Whichever field you are working currently, it's not the thing that you are not arrived. Today, I don't feel that I'm arrived. There is something big. Ways you have to achieve. So that kind of an attitude will help you keep growing and also help you keep growing.
And sir, with that, I would like to digress a little bit and ask you about the work-life balance, which a lot of youngsters are quite interested these days. They want a job that has work-life balance. So, how was your work-life balance when you were working for 17 years?
I was fortunate to have good bosses around me. Um, it was like whenever need is there, you need to prioritize your own. When you're required to the family, family gets it done. There is nothing like you have to work towards keeping a work-life balance. You don't feel in you don't believe in that philosophy. As the time needs, as supposing company needs to run for certain reason, uh, or some equipment that has been installed in a particular period of time. Then you need to stand up for the company. At the same time, when the family needs you, you stand up for the family, prioritize your family. First, need this, not it is something like oh, I work 8 hours, I like next 4 hours I want to get home. It was not that kind of a formula will not work. As when the company needs, be there for the company. And family needs, be there for the family. At the same time, have some time for yourself as well. This is most important because every time you ask yourself what exactly you have done in that day, whether you have justified your role in a company, your role in family. Keep asking this question yourself and satisfy the answer for yourself, not for anybody else. When you answer those questions, work-life balance will become natural. It becomes another nature for you. Rather, you don't have to work towards that to create a balance. Prioritize as the need arises. That's what I would say.
Awesome, sir. So, with that, I would like to know what degree of importance you gave to your close relationships. How did you manage time? So, if there was an emergency, how did you handle that? If you could give us a little bit overview about that. You had a personal emergency, then you had work. Was there any instance of that sort where you had to manage both these things and move forward?
One is that whenever you are at a work or personal life, you always have a kind of list for like to-do list kind of. It need not be written down or something like that. For this month, I'm going to do these things for my family. I will do this for the company's goals. These kind of things I keep doing. Today, even for reading a book, I would always make it a point. One within a month, I would read those kind of commitments I used to do. And with respect, as you asked, when two of the things that was clashing, like emergency at the work and emergency at the family. It has never happened to me so far, but we would always prioritize family when it comes when there is an emergency. I could always delegate my work, or we could always leave that work for some with somebody else so that work also does not affect. At the same time, I give my time for the family. And fortunately, my bosses were very accommodative when these sort of things have happened. But it's very rarely happen. Like family needed and I was allowed to go to attend those functions.
Mhm. And sir, moving on to the next question, what would be the suggestion or tips that you would give to an youngster passing out of college who aspires to get into automotive industry or another Munna Bhai, probably someone who is inspired just like you wants to switch the career. So, what are the tips and suggestions you would give them so that they stay on the track and be consistent to achieve their personal goals?
So, for the youngsters, particularly who are coming out of the college, when they're deciding their stream of education, many times your profession may not match with your education most of the time. If it matches, it's well and good. Otherwise, also you accept it. And as long as the work excites you, or you have to make the work exciting for you, or you have to switch the career. They're the only options available. It will be difficult immediately to switch from one career to another. Rather, you build your uh, skill sets that are needed to get into the dream job of yours. Supposing you want to be, say, you want to be a ethical hacker or something. You are in the IT industry, you are doing some coding. There are so many arenas in which you can hone your skills of hacking or these related skills, which is needed to get into that dream career. There will be certain certifications that will be there. There are certain hackathons going around. So keep looking for those kind of opportunity. Being in your current job, do that. Different, achieve something over and make it a part of your resume. And it means something that you have done something apart from your current career, and you are also making an effort to get into your passion area, where you the work you aspire to. That will give you an edge when an opportunity comes up in front of you. Then nobody can stop you from getting into your good career.
Mhm.
And the people who are thinking that getting into a new course or getting into upgrading your qualification, age is never a limitation. If I can do it at the age of 35 years, I can graduate from an engineering college 10 years after leaving my college. Initially, it was difficult, yes. I've seen many people quit in between, those who have joined along with me engineering. Uh, even not only evening college I'm talking about, even people would have been forced from the parents due to some pressure they would have joined engineering college, quitting in between. Uh, Before quitting, think again whether engineering is for you or not. Something at the end of the day, if you are creating a name for yourself in whichever field, it will be always initial work will be always like as Robin Sharma says, uh, it is a mess in between, in the beginning, and over a period of time, it becomes uh, like very colorful. Once you are coming out of colorfully, then you will know it's not going. Don't make uh, efforts. So don't expect something for nothing. Like not to harm inside without means as well. So that should be an effort. Effort should be that there are always you will get the fruit at the end.
So, and
Age is not a time, not a limitation. Take it once.
mhm. Inspiring, sir. So next, how has networking helped you in your endeavors so far? How important has it been for your career or business growth? And how should one network? What are the venues one should look at to do that?
Network, networking is very, very important, which I realized very, very late in life. Even when I started my business, I was never into networking. There were My business was only on the word of mouth. Those who are already experienced my product, they again came back and they kept me busy. As I as we grow, that is not enough. So you need to have a network. Because the business that is coming to you or the work that is coming to you, you need guarantees. If you want to grow beyond uh, your current limits, you need to go and find a bigger network. Always find a new network. From there, your business will grow, even your career will grow. Otherwise, you will be limited in your current network, and your business growth will be limited, your career growth also will be limited. Networking is very, very important. So, as a result, I have joined the Indus Entrepreneurs Network. There is a different entrepreneurs network groups are available. There is a group called Ascent Foundation. There is so many other foundations that is giving a networking opportunity for industry. For professionals, I think LinkedIn is one major platform where you can uh, find networking opportunities. There are also, if you're looking at particular professions like hackers or there's some kind of professionals in a particular sector field, there are enough networks if you can go out and find meetups happening. There were some kind of activities happening around. In addition to that, there are some voluntary groups like Toastmasters where you can find networking. Toastmasters is one thing. What I've seen is that it will also help you to hone your public speaking skills, your leadership skills. At the same time, I've found people who have placed due to this Toastmasters network. It's a great opportunity for young people who are aspiring to find their dream jobs, find their, at the same time, they also can um, become confident speakers, confident leaders. These are the opportunities you can always explore.
Mhm. And sir, just out of curiosity, even after working, having such a great career, how have you managed to keep yourself fit? You're glowing, actually.
Uh, See, keeping fit is very, very important because unless you keep fit, you will not have the energy to manage multiple things. It doesn't call for a special, what do you call, special attention for fitness. Rather, simple things like getting up. I have certain routines. I follow certain routines. I get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock, I complete my walking for 15 minutes. I do some yoga. After that, I go through the newspaper because without reading the newspaper, you will not be up to date with different things that is happening. Then planning for the day. Then after that, I can do multiple things with respect to even after my career, after my job. I presently I'm part of I'm coaching people. So I work towards creating content over. I set some timelines. 2 hours I work for my content or my course creation or my coaching. Likewise, I divided my time from morning to evening. Uh, from 5 to 11, I divided my time. So walking and yoga is helping me to keep my energy. It's really important. As we grow, we also lose muscles and all. We need to eat good. Uh, Stay with good thoughts, stay around good people, stay around people like you, Jay, and Toastmasters, and my close-knit friends. And also take part in hobbies. Particularly, I am very fond of singing. I have created a karaoke group. Every month we have a meetup. We come together and jam. Now, it becomes like a quite raised over here. Being in a community, being around with people around with similar kind of mindset who are positive, it helps me uh, being energetic through. That's what it is.
Sir, I have a quick rapid fire question. So you need to answer whatever the first thing that pops into your mind. I just have five questions that I'll
Done.
be going through. So the first
Yep.
question is, what's one tech invention you never thought you'd see in your lifetime?
With invention, I think it is about food. The evolution that is happening in the food sector. I never thought it will be it. I was usually thinking food is a traditional thing. So many things are happening in the food sector with even using AI for creating recipes in producing food. That's a great thing which I never imagined.
So moving on. So one word you love using all the time.
One word. Keep learning. It's two word.
Inspiring, sir. So one piece of advice you would give your 20-year-old self.
My 20-year-old son never stop.
Never stop.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like that I think one plus never settle. You know the tagline for that one plus no never settle.
Yeah, interesting, sir. How you linked both these things together. So, and one your entrepreneurial mantra in one word.
Unlimited. World is unlimited.
So, if love had a flavor, what dish would it be?
I would always like rasam and rice. That is the flavor. Anytime. That is the best food I would always have. Any point of world, any part of world.
So thank you for answering those rapid questions that I shot at you. So before we sign off, one advice or tip you would give to us youngsters my age and lesser.
We would always say youngsters like no don't stop experimenting. Don't world is not perfect. Never fear the failures. Failures always will give you some lessons. I built myself from my failures. I failed in my business multiple times before I set up this my current business. Failures, don't fear the failure. That is what one advice.
With that, we had an awesome time today. This is your host Jay signing off with our growth mindset coach for today, Umanath Kemanu sir. Thank you. Signing off. Bye.
Thank you, Sanjay, for having me here. Thank you.